Hello, grade 4 students. How are you? This is me, Shayma, and I will study with you Lesson 1, Activity 1 in Adaptation and Survival Unit. Are you ready? So, let's start. First of all, we need to define two terms. Okay. First one is living organism. What is a living organism? As we see here, this bird is a living organism. It can breathe, it can move, it can reproduce, it can eat. Also, these cats are living organisms. Also, from the living organisms, we have, of course, human and plants. All kinds of plants are living organisms because they have the characteristics, the properties of life, as breathing, moving, eating, reproducing, all of this. In the other hand, we will move to the non-living things as sun, water, rocks, clouds, air, soil. All of these are non-living things. They can't breathe, they can't move, they can't reproduce, they can't eat. So those are non-living things. Okay? Is it clear? So, I want you to know that life on Earth has something. Living things and non-living things interact with each other. And to know what is the meaning of interact with each other, as living things need non-living things to survive, as they need air, they need soil, as plants need soil and sun and air and water. Also animals need those things. This is the interact between the living and non-living things. So the area in which living and non-living things interact with each other, we call it ecosystem. We have different ecosystems in our Earth, as this one of them is a grassland ecosystem, which is full of grass, trees, and some animals like cows, sheep. This is one of the ecosystems in where planet needs sun and water, and cows eat the plants. So all of them interact with each other. Also, we have here another ecosystem, which is desert ecosystem, and it's different from the previous one. It has some features or some characteristics that very hot climate, it's very dry, and some animals that live in this ecosystem have some things that help them to live in this ecosystem. Also, we here have this called marine ecosystem, which is ocean and seas. Fish live in this ecosystem and adapt to this ecosystem, as they have some things help them to live in this ecosystem. We can't bring camel to live in this sea or ocean because camel hasn't the characteristics that help him to live in this ecosystem. Is it clear? So all living organisms need some characteristics that help them to live in their ecosystems, and this is what we call it adaptation. So adaptation simply means that the characteristics that help living organisms to live in the ecosystem in which they live in, this is the adaptation. Okay? Is it clear? Don't worry about the definition of adaptation or the words, because we will make videos about them. Just listen to the explanation now and don't worry about anything about writing or reading. Okay? Thank you. So, adaptation is the characteristics that help the living organisms to survive and reproduce in their ecosystem where they live in, help them to keep alive and to have babies, okay, in this ecosystem, okay? So this is the adaptation. So we will now take examples about adaptation of some organisms in different cases and conditions, like in very hot climate, as living organisms have different ways to protect them from extreme hot climate. Next time we will take how some animals protect themselves from the extreme cold climate. Now we have 3 examples, one from the animals and one for plants, and the last one for human. First, the animal example is starred agma lizard. And starred means it has scales that have dots like stars on it, okay? Lives in desert, and we mentioned that desert has very hot climate, extreme hot climate. So for the starred agma lizard, it needs some adaptation to protect it from this hot climate, as it finds the shaded area to keep its body cool. What is the shaded area? Shaded area is the areas that the sunlight can't reach it because there is tree or rock or something like that. So he keep itself in this place to protect itself from the hot or the sun lights, so it keep its body cool. Next example, we have palm leaves from the palm tree. It's about plants. They are covered with waxy layer. And to know what is the waxy layer is a substance like a candle, or do you know candles, or like Vaseline, substance like that, okay? So the palm leaves are covered with a waxy layer to protect it from the hot climate. How it comes, this is an information that I will tell to you, okay, to know what, okay? Palm leaves has water in it. There is water inside the leaves. So if they are exposed to the sunlight, the very hot climate, so this water will evaporate. So this layer above the leaves keep the water inside the leaves and protect it from the evaporation. So back to our topic, palm leaves are covered with waxy layers to protect them from extreme hot climate. Okay, now we took 2 examples, one about animals as the agma lizard and the palm leaves, the second example from the plant. So if those examples are clear for you, we will move to another example, which is the last one, the human. How the human can protect himself from the very hot climate. Okay, for you, I want you to tell me, what are you doing when the weather is very hot? Yes, think with me. Yes, you may wear light clothes. You may wear a hat, or using umbrella to protect yourself from the very hot climate or extreme hot climate. So human can protect himself from the very hot climate, the extreme hot climate, by using umbrella, by wearing light clothes. So this is how human protect himself from the hot climate. Is it clear? So my kids, now we just finished what we want to say today. We need to summarize what we said. Okay, first we discuss and define the adaptation okay? And the adaptation is the characteristics that help living organisms to survive and reproduce in the ecosystem in which they live, okay? So I will say to you again, don't worry about this definition. We will discuss it more and more, and you will know how to write it, okay? So adaptation, the characteristics that help living organisms to survive and reproduce in the ecosystem in which they live in. And we took 3 examples about how these living organisms adapt in the extreme hot climate, as a starved Agma lizard finds shaded area to keep its body cool. Palm leaves are covered with waxy layer to protect them from extreme hot climate, and the human being uses umbrella and light clothes to protect himself from the extreme hot climate. So those are the 3 examples for adaptation in extreme hot climate. Next time we will take another example for the adaptation in the extreme cold climate. So we will travel to a very hot, a very cold climate, and we will see how these living organisms live in this very cold climate. For now, we are finished. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.